Carlos Ramirez, owner of NVS Audio in Roselle, New Jersey. Today I want to talk about the Diamond Audio Ms69Neo. It is part of the new Ms.Neo series from Diamond Audio. It's a follow-up to the wildly popular MP694. There was a couple of issues with the MP series, mainly being that it's not waterproof. The speaker being that it's got a large horn in the center. If you got water in it, it would destroy the voice coil. So it's not in the same series as the MP, because the MP694 Neo magnet, large horn driver, loudest 6 volume they offer. So it's actually an upgrade to the MS69CX, their coax sub. So this one is 100% weatherproof, but it uses a ferrite magnet. So it made sense. What they did was they took the best of both worlds. So they took the Neo magnet high power handling from the MP series and the weatherproof from the MS series and created the Ms.Neo series. So woven Kevlar cone, 100% weatherproof, obvious, apparent. Water can't leak into the voice coil because there is no horn in the center. Larger voice coil diameter, increased power handling. So everything you'd come to expect from a Diamond Audio Neo. Diamond Audio has a cult-like following. Clients bring us all kinds of equipment to install, and Diamond Audio by far is what most customers purchase. So the Micro 4 V2 is the most popular amplifier that customers bring to us, if it's not a Sound Digital Evo X800, and the Diamond Audio MP694 and MP654 is always their go-to speaker from their research that they've been doing. Half the time when I tell them that it's not weather resistant, they switch and go for a different option like the Hertz Neo 690. But now they can stay under the Diamond Audio umbrella, install a speaker that is weatherproof, high power handling. They're not cheap, they're pricey. They're like $600-700 a pair. But we're gonna put it through its paces, and being that it's Diamond Audio, I'm sure it's not going to disappoint. Diamond speakers do what they say they're gonna do every single time. There's a lot of companies out there that have a lot of false advertising and play with the numbers. Diamond Audio is not one of the companies. The only issue I had with them is when they called this a coax sub. This does not play below 60 hertz, so it's not a sub. So it's marketing. It's an excellent mid-bass 6 line, but it's definitely not a sub. But other than that, we have no issues. The numbers that they listed in the specifications are 100% accurate and correct. So the problem with this is a really good speaker, and we've sold and installed a lot of them. The issue with the MS69CX is it uses a ferrite magnet. So the magnet is large. It has to be large to get the proper X max to be able to produce really good mid-bass. But it's really, really heavy. If you install these on a set of lids, it's going to add a lot of weight to the lid. It's going to put a lot of stress on the hinges. And a lot of times when you go to close, the magnet's going to catch the edge of the saddlebag. So now we have the same output, smaller, more powerful Neo magnet, and kept the weatherproof capability. Only thing that we lost, no more tweeter. So it's really a non-issue, because with these on the lids, bandpassed properly, maybe a tweeter added somewhere else or separate tweeter in the front. Or you could do the bridge kit from American Hardbags and add an MO75 diamond tweeter above this. This is an excellent solution. So you get the output that you had from the MP series and the waterproof from the MS series, and they're both Neo. So compare the back. There is the size difference of the magnet between the two. That is the MS. And here's the size difference of the MP. They made it smaller. Obviously, it's smaller because this is not the magnet. This is actually the tweeter horn that mounts in the center. That's just the trumpet. So if you remove the tweeter itself, then you could see side by side that the magnet is almost identical. So it's basically a waterproof MP series 6x9. Magnet's really strong, so it's hard to line them up, but I want you to see what they look like side by side. There you go. They look like identical size magnets, which would make sense because this is a very powerful 6x9. So they list frequency response at a very conservative 90 hertz to 10,000 hertz. Speakers 4 ohms, 350 watts RMS, 750 watts max, which means we can comfortably run these off an 800.4 bridged and possibly a 1200.4 bridged. We're about to go out back and test it, so I'll be able to confirm that. I'm 90% sure that it's going to play way below 90. I think they're just being conservative because they don't want you guys to blow stuff up out there. I'm betting these things can play down to 60, 75 on 300 watts RMS. I'm willing to bet that easily. For you guys that are more aggressive, 12 decibel per octave, high pass, let's say at 80. I'm sure we can get 500 watts to these, no problem. But we're going to give it a shot, and I'm going to let you know what crossover points I chose. I'm a little disappointed in the manual for the Diamonds because there's not a ton of information. But if you guys call tech support, 90% of the time it's Brian Piper that's going to answer the phone, and Brian is on point. Brian's on top of stuff. He will get you all the information you need. Brian was at a training when I called for information on these speakers. I don't know who answered the phone, but he basically told me the answer was on the website, and he was 100% wrong. Also, he said that these are not the Ms69Neo series. They are, it says right on the box, Ms69Neo, Ms65Neo. So I don't know who I spoke to, but make sure you speak to Brian. Brian knows what he's talking about. So I'm disappointed in the manual because if you look at the manual, it's an exact duplicate of the old manual for the MS series. I'm sorry, for the MP series. So the manual is identical to the MP series manual, even down to the tweeter crossover. Like, they're showing you how to wire it with their other horns like the MO75, but the manual is literally copy and pasted from the old manual. There's no new information. As a matter of fact, it is only 2 pages of information. The first page is just an introduction to the 3 speakers in the series, the 6.5, the 8-inch, and the 6x9. None of them have tweeters. They all have the same size voice coil, so they all have the same power handling. So I'm assuming the 8 and the 6x9 have the same voice coil because the 6.5 drops 50 watts in power. Sensitivity of the 6.5 is 94, sensitivity of the 8 is 96, and the same for the 6x9. Resting impedance of 3.2 ohms. High pass filter, 5K, 12 dB per octave for the tweeter. High pass filter, 100 hertz, 12 dB per octave for the woofer. Makes sense. Only way you're going to get that kind of power handling. Shows you how to wire their 12 decibel per octave crossover. And if you want to build a 2-way active without a DSP, they recommend a 0.1 millihenry inductor for a low pass of 6K. and the crossover that comes with their horn tweeters is already 12 decibel per octave. If you use the optional resistor, you can reduce the output of the tweeter by 6 or 9 dB, and it shows you how to do that. Something that's very important, even if you're using another manufacturer's tweeter, use the manual from Diamond Audio, and I'll show you how to build a passive network to protect your tweeters, keep them from blowing up, especially when you're running them in parallel with a high-powered driver like this. So, not much information in the manual. Hopefully they add something to the website, because a lot of people are going to need help with the installs in the applications, because the applications tend to get tricky. If you're doing a high-powered 6.5 or 6x9, means you're going to need help designing a crossover network for the tweeter. If you're using Diamond Audio tweeters, then the math is already done for you in their crossover. So this paired with this, you don't have to worry about destroying the tweeter, especially if you add the optional resistor to reduce the output by 3 to 6 dB. So it's enough talking. Waterproof, Neo. I know they're going to be loud. I know it's going to have a ton of mid bass. I'm just happy that when clients specifically request Diamond Audio, I have a go-to speaker that I can put in the back that won't get destroyed by water and doesn't weigh a ton like this one. This is a really good sounding speaker, but just the weight of it and the fact that it's ferrite would turn me off. This, it's no secret. Everybody knows my favorite 6x9 is the Hertz 690Neo, but this might be a new favorite or another option. It's just everything you could want in a speaker, especially guys from Cali and in the South on the East Coast that like to run 6x9s in the bags facing the rear wheels. So you no longer have a tweeter to worry about. These things, I'm assuming, going to have a ton of mid bass, weatherproof, nice and light, large voice coil, high power handling. How could you go wrong? But enough talking. Let me go test them. Okay, first thing I noticed installing it in our lid kit is you don't need spacers. So that means this is going to be the same for the Rockford lid kit, the Boss Audio lid kit, the Aquatic lid kit. Diamond does offer a lid kit for some of their new 6x9s. They don't offer it for this one yet, but they will soon. But they opened up the holes in the flange enough to where it lines up, no spacer, no cutting, so that's a huge plus. So if you look there, all the holes line up. So we'll be able to screw this down with no adapter. And they've offered us a nice rubber gasket, so no water's gonna get in the bag. Good job, Diamond. Okay, I recommend putting that screw in first, because that's the tough one, and then all the other ones line up. But no glue, no spacer, or all four screws lined up without cutting up the kit or the 6x9. That makes me happy. So the speaker fits beautifully. Look how well it fits in there with no spacer, no grinding, no cutting. It's nice and light in the lid, doesn't add a lot of weight to the lid. Just looks really good in there. And it sounds even better. honestly, what more could you ask for from a 4-speaker bike? So it is high power. We are running 2 Evo X 800.4s, 1 bridge to the fairing and 1 bridge to the 6 mines. But as you can tell, there is absolutely no loss of storage space. Just 6 mines in the lids, 6.5 in the fairing, horn tweeters mounted in the grill. So this bike sounds super clean. It's got a ton of mid bass. These new Diamond Audio 6 mines are amazing, and they're everything you can ask for. High power, weatherproof, neodymium, lightweight. It's a win all the way around. Okay, so now I've physically tested the speakers. I tested them on the bench. I RTA'd them. I tested them on a bike, which is the most important test because that's where they're going to be installed. So the Ms69Neo series from Diamond Audio. We just tested the Ms69Neo. 2 thumbs up. We will definitely be adding it to our speaker lineup. It's no secret. Everybody knows that the Hertz 690 Neo is hands down my favorite 6 mine, and there's a few reasons for it. It's not the loudest 6 mine on the market, but out of the weatherproof, it has the most mid bass. It's neo magnet, doesn't add weight to the lid. So now I have 2 favorite 6 mines, that one and this one. There's specific reasons why I pick speakers. So first of all, I need them to be weather resistant. We build a lot of rider bikes. If the speaker's not weather resistant, then I really can't recommend it because it doesn't make sense that you get stuck in the rain. It could be sunny and 100 degrees out. You're out riding for a couple hours, you get caught in a rainstorm. It doesn't make sense to destroy thousands of dollars worth of equipment when there are really good solutions that are weatherproof. So the MP694, that's why it never made my recommended list, because a really good sounding speaker. We stock them, we sell a good amount of them because Diamond Audio does a good job of marketing and creating a buzz for speakers. But being that it's not weatherproof, I couldn't add it to my recommend list. I had it, I sold it, the speaker sells itself. Then the problem with the MS69CX, weatherproof, ton of mid bass. Problem is, it's a ferrite magnet. This speaker weighs a lot, literally weighs twice as much as this speaker. So then that creates another set of problems. The lid doesn't close properly because you have to grind out the side of the saddlebag. I don't like chopping up the bike if I don't have to. So these end up stripping the screws. It happened on Keisha's bike where they actually ripped out of the adapters. So just the weight of the speaker makes me not like this speaker. It's a really good speaker. It sounds great. If there was a way to nut and bolt this thing in place, but it still adds weight to the lid. I watched the wind carry a customer's lid out of his hand, and it just slammed down with so much force that it immediately ripped 2 out of the 4 screws out. So with the new Ms69Neo, all those problems have been resolved. Weatherproof, ton of mid bass, neo magnet, lightweight, doesn't hit the side of the bag when you close it. And on top of that, bigger voice coil, more power handling. So if we're doing like the setup I just showed you, if we're doing a high powered setup with an 800.4 and 800 in the front, 800.4 for the back, this is a really nice speaker to go with. The frequency response on the box said, let me not guess, let me look. But the frequency response is listed as 90 to 10K. I played around with it and I got the best results, 12 decibels per octave, 80 to 5K. So I crossed it over 80 to 5,000 at 12 dB and then ran 400 watts to each one, and it loved it. It's got a RMS power of 350. A lot of you guys like to run double RMS, so that'd be 700. To me, that would be a bit much. I like them 4 to 600, 4 to 550 RMS. I think they will like, and that's why we're going to run them here at the shop. But thank you, Diamond Audio. Great job. You've redeemed yourselves in my book because this is a great speaker, way too heavy. This is an amazing speaker, not waterproof. So for you guys that want to be loud, this speaker obviously has a horn. It's louder than that one. And it handles more power. This speaker handles more power. This speaker is louder because that one doesn't have a tweeter. But if you want the best of both worlds, do the American hardbag adapter. It spaces the 6 mine down a little and allows you to do an MO75 diamond horn in the grill and still maintain the factory look. So you will have the loudest most powerful 6-mine setup available. The only 6-mine that comes close would be the Euphoria Expert 6-mine, but that's a $1,000 6-mine. So actually, when you think about it, after you do the adapters, if you want to add a horn to this one, it will also make this one a $1,000 6-mine. But if you're happy with the way the bike sounds that I just let you hear, that is running big power to the front. So those are Diamond Audio MO75 tweeters in the grill, with some Bema mid-bass drivers in the pod. That bike has enough power to the tweeters in the front where you don't need tweeters in the back. Plus, when you have speakers on the lid, a lot of it gets carried away when you ride off. So these are nice since I haven't crossed over 5,000. A lot of it doesn't get carried away, and it complements the front really good. I'm super happy with this setup. It's something I'm going to offer in one of my packages as an upgrade, but you have a high power handling, weatherproof Neo 6-mine, lightweight. What more can you ask for? And my favorite part, no modification. You can install it with no grinding and no cutting. So it's a win, win, win. Thank you, Diamond Audio.